The purpose of aid long term should be getting the target population to no longer need aid. The fact that the UNRWA, which, yes, was tasked with taking care of the Palestinian refugees 70 years ago, it's now taking care of their children and grandchildren. Well, yes, we want to bolster them. We want to provide them funding. We want to help them do that work on the ground. But what we really need to do is deal with the structural issue that causes so many Palestinians to be dependent on these organizations for services that most of us receive by the state. It's not sustainable to have a refugee population for what will soon be a century that's still stateless in many of the states where it lives. As we've heard, the refugee camps within the West Bank, within Lebanon, throughout the Middle East are very poorly served. The United States has the UNRWA has taken a huge hit because of budget cuts from the United States, primarily. Yes, we have seen Qatar and India and Russia and China filling in these gaps, but in 5 years, when the next crisis hits, or 10 or 15, who is it going to be? It's simply not sustainable to keep relying on international actors and aid agencies. What we're seeing here is that public health needs a long-term vision. We can't just be dealing with vaccination efforts, dealing with trauma patients in Gaza. Yes, that is needed. But if you're going to have a sustainable health system, you need to be thinking of 5, 10, 15 years. And Palestinians, they don't know what their territory will look like in that time. They don't know what their budget will look like in that time. They don't know what the state of all these aid agencies and even of their primarily donors will be in that time. So they can't plan. So they're just constantly putting out fires. And I mean, I don't want to at all say that these aid agencies are not vital. I want to emphasize that. But the purpose should be state building, building infrastructure within the state so that Palestinians can take care of Palestinians and Palestinian institutions on Palestinian land. And we are only getting further from that. So we're only increasing the dependence on these aid agencies, and they will continue to be stressed as climate change, the next pandemic, whatever happens next happens.